Hi guys, I just want to quickly show you where I keep my perfumes before I go into the individual perfumes to tell you about the scents and whatnot. So this is a little cabinet that I have. I keep some of my makeup inside, and on top of it I just have this little tray I got from TJ Maxx, and I put all my perfumes inside except for a few bottles that are kind of like overflowing right now. And also I share this with my husband, so you can see a few colognes back here. And those three in the front are the ones I am currently using more often. And they just kind of like live out here. And then for the rest of the tabletop, I have this little like tree jewelry organizer that I got from Target a while back. Some of my watches. And right here I have a body spray from Bath & Body Works. This is my very last body spray of any kind, and I am not gonna buy any more after I finish this one. And I use the cap right here to store some of my sample sprayer kind of perfumes. So that's just a overview of where I store my perfumes. And this is kind of like far away from the window. I know it's not in a closed shaded area, but because it's so far away from the window, and I usually keep the curtain closed, so I'm not too worried about you know, them being exposed to the light too much. And yeah, that's about it. And let me switch the camera angle right now and show you the individual perfumes. Maybe you have noticed I am a big Bvlgari fan. So not just the brand Bvlgari in general, but also just the Omnia line. I believe the Omnia line has 6 different scents, and I own 4 of them. 3 of them are full-size bottles. 1 of them is a smaller like dabber bottle. Let's go into my perfume collection from those ones first. The first one here I have is Amethyste, I think that's what's called. So this one is, well, in the purple packaging, and I really like it because it's kind of like dainty feeling. All the bottles from the Omnia lines are kind of like this, just different colors by the way. This one used to be my favorite for the longest time. So I started wearing it as my signature scent since I was maybe freshman college, I think. Very early years in my college years. And I believe this one is my maybe the 4th bottle already. So, and this one, maybe you could see I've gone through like almost half of it too. So I do really love the scent. It is oudi. So what I like about the Omnia line is that most of them are oudi scents. And they're not just strong oudi, they're more like, when you first smell them, they are floral first. And then they're oudi in the base note a little bit. So this one is heavy on iris, and it has a little bit of a pink grapefruit. So that makes it kind of like a lighter floral, which is not too strong. And in the base note, it has oudi scents and also musk. So I really love this. I think it's very appropriate for daytimes, and you can never go overboard. So I said Amethyste used to be my favorite. That's because I found something better to replace it in my heart. That is the Crystalline. So this one is also from the Omnia line, and it's just called Crystalline. This one I believe is my 2nd or 3rd bottle. This one is brand new. I ran out of it, and I waited for maybe like 2 or 3 months. I told myself I should use up some other perfumes. I shouldn't buy it right away, but my life just doesn't feel complete without it, so I had to buy it. I just got this in the mail maybe last week, I think, and this is just my absolute favorite. They are very similar, the Crystalline and Amethyste. They are both on the light floral side, and also they both have oudi and musk as a base note. But I think Crystalline is a little bit more fresh. It's more green rather than floral. I think it uses a lot of the Asian inspired ingredients in it. I think it has like apple, pear, maybe bamboo, and lotus kind of things. So it's a little bit lighter and fresher than Amethyste versus, you know, Amethyste is more floral, but they're very similar. if you like one, I am pretty sure you will like the other. And the only complaint I have about the Omnia line is the sprayer. So as you can see, it just sprays right out here. Maybe I can show you. When you spray it, you just press this like plastic looking part, and then it just comes right out here like that. I'm not sure if you can see it, but that means this thing doesn't have a cap. When it doesn't have a cap, I kind of feel it wouldn't last as long. So that's my only complaint, and you know, I wish it has a cap. It does have a different packaging now, but then that packaging, it kind of looks like a little ladybug shape. For whatever reason, they're so much more expensive than the packaging that looks like this. And for me, sure, I really appreciate the improved packaging, but I don't think it's worth that much of a price difference. The next one I have from the Omnia line is called Green Jade. So this one, green packaging. So this is the third one that I got from the Omnia line. So I was trying to compare the other two that I had, and then I realized the reason why I like Crystalline just a little better is because it has a little bit more green notes in it. So when I saw this one, I was like, oh, the packaging is green and it's advertised as it's a green note, so it has to be really good. It is definitely a greener note. I really like the beginning notes of this one. So it has pistachio, pear, and peony, I think. So it's definitely very floral and very lovely. But the only thing that's lacking in this is that the base note isn't as prominent as the other two. So both Amethyste and Crystalline, they have strong woody and musk notes, so they last a lot better on me. This one, it's kind of like it's gone pretty fast. So for that reason, I don't think I like this one nearly as much as the other two, but I do still really appreciate it. I think I love the beginning notes, and sometimes I will layer this with one of the others so I can get more of the first notes from this guy and have the lasting power from the other two. The fourth one I have from Omnia line is this little baby guy. So this one is the newest addition to the line. I believe it came out last year, 2015. This one is called Paraiba. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but this is inspired by a place in Brazil. So from the name of it, and you could probably already guess, it's kind of like tropical. This one is different from the other three, so I can definitely see the theme of the Omnia line from the other three I just talked about, but this one is a little bit far away from the other three because it is very tropical. It has a very strong passion fruit note in it, you know, as a tropical fruit. It doesn't have as much of a floral, I think. So this one I would probably define it as a fruity rather than a floral. It probably also has jasmine or gardenia in it, which makes it fruity but leaning more floral side, if that makes sense. But for the same reason, I think I like it not as much, just like the Green Jade, because the base note isn't very attractive to me. I would prefer something woody and musky in the end, and they are just a little bit lacking in that perspective. And also because this one is so heavy on passion fruit, I think it's almost inappropriate to use during the colder month. My next favorite brand when it comes to perfume is probably Gucci, but I only have two just because, you know, I only have 9 full-size bottles in my collection anyways, and I think 2 of them are from Gucci actually means something to me. The first one I have bought is Gucci 2 actually, and this one I just bought it on a whim without even knowing what it smells like, but luckily enough it turned out pretty good. And I am trying to use this up somewhat quickly just because I've had this bottle for I think 6 years now. I bought it 2009, so closing on 7 years. And I started to notice that it doesn't last as long on me anymore. I feel perfumes don't really go bad, they just kind of like lose their lasting power. That's when I started feeling I have to use them up. So this one doesn't last as long on me anymore, and I don't have much left, if you can see. So hopefully I can finish this guy fairly quickly. But anyways, this one, I think it's classic. It's so different and complex. I love it. And oh, I usually just smell the cap. It always works because, you know, when you just spray it in the air, usually you couldn't really smell the base note. But when you smell just into the cap, you can usually pick up the beginning and the end notes all at once. So it's quite effective to me, and maybe that's a tip. If you go to a store that has testers, you can just pick up and smell the cap. Anyways, I think this one is very interesting because it is on the floral side. A lot of people call it fruity because a lot of people say that they smell a lot of berry in it, blackberry I think specifically, but for some reason I can't smell the berry so much. A little bit, but I think it's very subtle. I don't smell much of a berry. For me, it's definitely on the floral side. It has jasmine and violet, I think, maybe, but it's definitely, to me, more floral than fruity. But what makes it interesting is that it's not just a floral scent. It has a lot of citrusy scent in it too. So that makes it very interesting. It's kind of like a sharp floral note, which is very different. I don't think I have come across any other perfume that smells quite similar to this. So that makes it very special. And what's better yet is that it ends with a musky note. So you can probably pick up what I like already. I like the floral plus musk. So that's kind of my scent. And this one is definitely a lighter floral scent that ends with a musk scent. But what makes it very interesting is that it has so much citrusy scent in it that is just something very unique. The other Gucci I have is Gucci Flora. This one is, well, the name is Flora, so you know it's kind of on the floral scent side, but it's kind of different. And all the other ones I have are more like jasmine, iris, violet, you know, the kind of like lighter, airier floral. And this one is on the heavier side. It is floral, but also at the same time it's very creamy. It has, I think it has more of the rose and peony kind of floral scent, so that makes it kind of creamier and also sweeter, I would say. But also at the same time, it's still very fresh. It's not a sweet scent by any means. It's just, compared to the lighter florals, this one is a little bit more creamier and sweeter. And I think if you feel kind of inappropriate wearing especially those Omnia lines in the colder month, this one would not have that problem at all. Actually, I only wear this guy when it's like fall time, and I just feel it's so warm, you know. It's kind of like a warm floral, but not like warm like amber kind of scents, if that makes any sense. This is also a very unique scent. I think I really like Gucci perfumes just because they are very different. They're very unique. They don't smell like something simple, you know. They have layers in their notes, and that's what I like the most about Gucci perfumes. Next, let's talk about Nina Nina Ricci. So that's this little guy. I think this one is quite famous as well. This is my second bottle already, and as you can see, this one actually is broken. So the sprayer thing kind of just comes off, which is really sad. It got broken when we moved to Chicago. I usually keep all my perfume bottles with me unless the bottle is completely finished, just in case for moving I don't want them to be damaged. I always put them back into the original packaging to move them, but somehow this one still broke. And maybe you can see like there's like rustiness around the bottle. So I think this one actually has changed. The scent doesn't smell the same anymore. I can smell very strong alcohol in it right now, and also I think the metal probably just got into the perfume or something. The scent is completely changed, but I still very like the scent if you have a good bottle. Mine is destroyed, but when they're good, they are really good. This one, I would say it's different from everything that I have in my collection. It is stronger, first of all. It's floral but also very sweet and almost kind of fruity, and it has rose, I think, and it's sparkly. I can't quite describe what makes it feel sparkly. It's quite an interesting concept, but also it just makes me feel spontaneous for some reason. So if I'm going to a summer party, and I will probably wear this one because it just smells fun and young and yeah, spontaneous. And I think what I like the most about it is that it ends on a musky note. So, you know, that kind of sells it to me, even though it's on the stronger side when it just started. It has a lot of maybe rose, peony, and also apple, citrusy. It's all mixed together. It's not layered, but you can smell all of them all at once, which is quite intense, but I still like it. Alright, now let's talk about my newest addition to my collection. So you probably watched my birthday haul that I posted, I think it was 2 weeks ago. So I just recently purchased this guy. It's Vince Camuto's Fiori. So it's a pink bottle with pink juice, but it's very, very light pink, so it almost looks like silver in the camera. This one, it is surprisingly good. I think it's quickly becoming one of my all-time favorites. So right now, I think if I had to pick favorite perfumes of all time, I would say it's Crystalline from Bvlgari and this guy. So that's how much I love it, and it's definitely like first sight love kind of thing too. But it's more like first smell love. And also this one is very similar to the Crystalline. It is floral and it's light floral, but also it ends with a musky note. But the difference is that this one is heavier on iris versus Crystalline is more on the lotus side, or Crystalline is borderline not even floral anymore, I feel. This one is like obviously floral, but also woody and musky. So if I had to place it, I will probably say Amethyste, this one, and then Crystalline. So Amethyste is the most floral of them all, and Crystalline is the least floral of them all. And this one is like a mixture of those two. It's a perfect blend. This one is a little bit more interesting because it has pink fruit, iris, and almost like a peachy scent. So, you know, Amethyste has pink grapefruit and iris in it as well. So that's what makes it more floral, but the nectarine is kind of like, or the peachy scent is leaning more toward Crystalline, you know, when Crystalline has pear and apple. So I don't know, I just love it so much. This is like perfect. And then let's talk about Lanvin. So this one is Rumeur 2, and this one is a rose one, but this rose is definitely not nearly as strong as Gucci Flora. This one is a very airy, freshy kind of rose. It is a little bit fruitier and lighter and sweeter because it definitely has a rose. You can smell the rose in it, but it also has just a little bit orange and jasmine, so that kind of like tone it down a little bit, which I like a lot. I like light, fresher floral scents on me. The only thing that I don't, or I wish they would have done better, is that they would add in a stronger base note. This one doesn't last on me at all. Like, I will spray it and it will be gone like within an hour or two. So it's almost kind of like a body spray, you know, it doesn't last long on you. Maybe it's just my body chemistry. Floral scents usually don't last too long on me. I need the musk and the oud in the end for it to last. I layer this guy with Crystalline or Amethyste quite often, just because they are very similar in the beginning note, and this one has a little bit more of the rosy and citrusy scent in it. So if I feel a little bit more sparkly, I would add this on top of Amethyste or Crystalline. The very last one I have here is Lolita Lempicka. I think that's how you say it. I think this one is a somewhat famous scent maybe a few years back. To be honest with you, I kind of regret buying it. I bought this guy, I think last year as well. I bought them together on a discount. So this one, the whole reason why I bought it is because in high school, this was my roommate's signature scent, and I remember really liking it when she was wearing it, and I was like, oh man, I wish I could get that guy, but also at the same time I don't want to wear the same scent as her. But then somehow it just left a mental note in my head, and I think when I saw it on discount last year, I was like, oh yeah, I remember really loving that guy, so I just bought it without even trying to remember what it smelled like. This one is very sweet, and it's vanilla-y, and it has, it's woody though. Like, I think the only reason why I'm still keeping it is because it does have a woody note in the end, so I'm kind of like okay with it. It's sweet, it has kind of like licorice kind of scent, so I'm a little torn because I do like the smell. I think it does smell really good. It's powdery and sugary, and it has a little bit interesting kick on the iris, and it ends on the musky note, which doesn't sound too bad, but somehow I just don't recognize myself with this scent. I just don't think this scent could represent me, and it's not something I will feel comfortable wearing. It doesn't smell like me. That's just it. For me, this is a quite nightly scent. Maybe if I want to feel not even like sexy, it's just like autumn scent, like a fall night out, maybe I will wear it, but only at very selective times, and I just regret buying it. I don't know what to do. And perfume is such a personal thing. I don't want to gift it to someone just in case if they don't like it either. And I don't know. I probably would slowly wear this, and maybe it will grow on me. But just like I said, I don't think it's bad by any means. It's just not my scent. I actually just got reminded, I do have this bottle. I don't keep this with the rest of my perfume collection. This is my Bvlgari Rose Essentielle. I only have that much left now. So I put this in one of my projects a couple months ago because I wanted to use it up. This one I also had for, I think, maybe 6 or 7 years. And I just want to kind of use it up now, and this one is definitely a strong rose compared to, you know, Lanvin or even Gucci Flora. So Gucci Flora is rose but also creamy, and Lanvin is rose but lighter rose. It's kind of like with jasmine and orange. This one is pretty much just straight up rose. That's how I feel. And so it's quite intense. It lasts very long on me too, which usually it's a good thing, but I don't like it that much. I think it's too strong of a floral scent that lasts on me. It's so rosy that, you know, it gets to a point that it's kind of like sickly. It's a little too sweet. I don't know. I used to like it a lot when I first bought it, but then, you know, with the years, and I think my taste in perfume has changed a bit, so I don't think I like this as much anymore. I mean, it's still a very good scent, but mine is getting old, and also I just kind of like grew tired of it. So I'm trying to use it up. I keep it in my closet to spray down my clothes occasionally. That's how I've been using it, and I don't think this one would last much longer anymore. So I also have 2 other little dabber kind of perfumes. One is from Versace, one is Bvlgari again, surprise. But I haven't really worn those 2, so I'm not too comfortable giving you any reviews or my opinions on the scents. I think I definitely need consistent wear with a perfume in order to understand it and try to describe it to you. That's my perfume collection. That's everything that I have. I don't have a whole lot, as you can see, but I do genuinely pretty much love everything that I have. So please let me know if you've used any of those perfumes that I have, and how you like them, and maybe knowing what I like, you know, the light floral plus the woody musky. If you know any other scents that are kind of similar or in that family, or maybe you think there are some stuff that I can branch out to, I would love to know. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.